This is Matthew McConaughey.
Natalie Portman.
James Patterson.
Michael Ian Black.
And you are listening to
Five Questions
with Dan Schawbel.
Omarion, welcome to Five Questions.
Peace, man. Thanks for having me.
Well, congrats on this guy right here.
Hey,
Beautiful book. I know
thank
how
you.
much effort it takes to put into a book. I've done 3, and
Oh, wow.
it's exhausting. But you know,
Yeah.
you're proud. Like it's like your child, right? You're a proud dad.
Facts.
So, what did you learn from your time as a background dancer early that made you pursue a career in music?
Well, I was so young when I first got, that job, and really I was going to this performing arts school called LAFA. And, dancing, it was about dancing, it was about acting, just all aspects of entertainment. So when I think about, that time, I was really just more so getting my feet wet. It was the first time I had been on the road. And, I was experiencing like, okay, now you got to perform, and this is what you need to do to prep. This is what you need to do to get ready. And I think essentially it was getting me ready for my career as an entertainer. So yeah, the most that I got from it was just like, oh, okay, this is the beginning. This is me getting my feet wet. This is me seeing how things go, being professional, being on time, waking up in the morning, the crazy schedule. I was just kind of getting a glimpse of how the future would be.
I think that's a really important life experience that you had because, it takes time to feel comfortable and to build kind of the relationships and to get the skill set required to kind of advance like you did into eventually, being part of B2K and then your solo career. So I'm just curious about what toxic influences did you kind of deal with and led to the downfall of B2K and also the rise of your solo career?
I would say the toxic things, that I dealt with was just like being a kid and not really knowing, that at that time, stepping into the reality of business that you really need to have people that protect you and that have your best interests. That's like the tell sign of anyone getting in the business. It's like, okay, when you get in the business, like, you get fucked first, you know what I mean? Or, for lack of a better word, you get taken advantage of, and it's because of lack of knowledge, so I would say that, the toxicity was really just lack of knowledge, not knowing how to really navigate through business, not how to stand up for myself on paper, not just showing up to do the show and the concert, but, protecting myself on the back end. So I would say that was the toxic aspect, but a very important lesson for me to learn, especially when it comes to, having people represent you in the lawyer space. You know what I'm saying? It's so important that you protect yourself in your business. And I would say, what was the second part of the question?
What were the first steps to basically, how did this time in B2K and the downfall lead to you, having a solo career?
Yeah, so unfortunately, but fortunately, I was kind of hurled into solo stardom. It wasn't, something that I was particularly prepared for and pursuing at the time. But, there were so many things going on in my world of business that, kind of presented this opportunity and now or never. It prepared me in a way that was, I want to say like meant to be. I was carried through my experience. I had, been doing, business with, certain record companies, and they were interested in pursuing, helping me pursue myself as a solo career. It's like I got to be a part of something that, only, maybe 5 or 6, artists that we know that are famous that actually went through. And that was coming from a group and transitioning into
Like Justin Timberlake.
And Beyonce,
Yeah.
and Michael Jackson. A lot of people forget, Michael Jackson came from the Jackson 5s first. So to be in this space, I wanted to step into that position. I wanted to step into creating something for myself and being fully accountable and responsible. So I would say that was the transitional moment, but very imperative looking back on all of my experiences to grow forward and leap
A lot
forward.
of and a lot of people fear accountability. That's what I
Yeah,
found, right? But I've learned to love it, right? If it's all on me,
yeah,
it's all on me, and that pressure actually can push you forward. And I don't think people
yeah.
understand that accountability is actually a really good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful thing, because, for lack of a better word, it doesn't make you perfect, but it kind of makes you damn near close, because you are, moving in a space where you want people to, appreciate you for your perspective and for the things you do. And I feel like that really equates to value, people always talk about having that person that can keep it real with them or tell them the truth, and it's certain value in that. And I appreciate that in my life, in my experience.
And how do you define what a good life is, and what are the first steps in someone pursuing it?
I define a good life as, ups and downs. I think that it's important to make sure that you get the lessons and realize why you are having those downs. But life wouldn't be life without those experiences, like getting your heart broke. When you get your heart broke, it either gives you an opportunity to come into love stronger, or to just, be stuck, like how fear makes you. I think the importance of life is having, a balanced experience, loving, losing, accepting, acceptance is a big one, because as you mature, in life, you realize that, everyone has a different walk, everyone has a different pace, and you begin to just like appreciate and value people more and respect them, differently, meeting them where they are. You're able to just really appreciate, different perspectives. And I feel like that's a part of the life experience. If you can choose joy, through difficult times, then you can actually have a great experience, and allow those things that are difficult to just pass through, get the lesson, and move on.
And we don't appreciate anything that comes easy too.
That's facts.
That's
That's
why
facts.
overnight success, or like a lottery ticket, that money goes out the garbage, right?
Right.
But over
Right.
time, if you've worked hard and saved and
Exactly.
been through some struggles, then when you finally get to, and then wouldn't say destination, because we're always learning and growing. We're students for life,
Yeah.
but there's a certain appreciation for like earning it and stepping into, for instance, you in the solo career, and
Yeah.
things that you experience in B2K, and things you saw that might not have gone well, or in other
Right.
aspects of your life. Now, when you're in those type of situations again, you'll almost like catch things before they become a problem because you've been through it.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why we all have to honor our experiences, good and bad. We always have to appreciate, the things that taught us lessons, and, those things that make us feel good. I think that that is really the beauty of life. I find that, as I become more mature, the intensity level goes up. The older and older you get, you see something, you just be like, why? Please, why? But for the most part, you're able to appreciate where people are, and you're able to, go within yourself and make yourself happy. And that's why I'm so excited about this book, because it really is a power tool for people that, may feel social anxiety or get crippled by fear, or don't, understand the importance of value of self. This book, shows you through mantras, through journal prompts, through affirmations that, you are enough and you can create the life that you want. And it really starts with a decision. So as long as you are able to decide, then you can make the next steps.
And speaking about that, what are some of your daily practices that center around the pillars you talk about in your book: spiritual, mental, and physical wellness?
Yeah. So on a spiritual tip, I always try to make time for some meditation. Um, there's this one that I do called Isha Kriya. That's really nice, a 20-minute one, just to sit still. There's a breathing one that I do by Wim Hof. It's pretty awesome, pretty tense. So I do some breathing, I do some meditation. Um, that's daily practice. And also I like to work out. I like to get a sweat in, as I call it, paying my sweat debt. that always keeps me pretty aligned through the day. Being able to wake up, have a beat with myself, do some breathing, you know what I mean? Say some gratitude for the day and move on keeps me pretty balanced throughout my whole day.
And I think where people run into trouble is they'll say, oh, I want to start journaling or meditating or various other
They
things
never
that you
do
discuss
it.
in the book. But after a week, they no longer do it.
Yeah, that is a challenge for all of us. I even have sometimes, like, I remember I went to the Isha Foundation, great sensei of mine, Sai Guru, the Isha Foundation in Nashville, and I took this course, and I never done that much yoga every day. It bugged me out how I felt so aligned with my life and be able to create peace daily. So, I was doing my Isha Kriya, and then, you're supposed to do a mandala when you leave. So that's like usually 40 days after your experience, you keep up with your yoga. And then after that, I fell off a little bit. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to get back on. But you have to realize, what helps you create peace in your life. And when it usually does, it's a practice that you keep. So
That's excellent. And what's your best piece of career advice?
my best piece of career advice is keep going. And who told me this? Pharrell Williams told me this. He told me, keep going. Oh, just keep going. So that's what I would like to impart to everyone, especially when the road gets tough and things don't seem to be going your way. Just realize, it's not happening to you, it's happening for you. And yeah, keep going.
That's beautifully put. And the opposite of keep going is like not going, as in being
Yeah.
immobile. And what's the fun in that?
Yeah, sometimes you need to take a beat, you know what I mean? Sometimes you need to pause, you know what I'm saying? But I would say not for too long, life is constantly, energy is constantly moving. So, you don't want to, so to speak, lose your spirit of that, because it's really hard to get up, after you've been working out for 2 years and then, you take a year off, it's really hard to get back up that hill, maybe take 3 months off, maybe take, 6 months off, but always have a plan to create the energy and, be the example of the type of, joyous life you want to live.
Well, that's great advice. And thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.